Welcome back to our channel. We have made some progress in our schoolroom, and I've had some friends ask to see it that have not been able to come and visit, either because they don't live here or because of this quarantine. So I thought I would take you on a little tour of what we've done so far and how things look and kind of what our plan is to go forward and how it's functioning for us. So when you walk into the room, you see kind of our brand new wall. This is the wall we built. Well, my husband built. I didn't build it. I painted it. My niece and I painted it, and my dad helped to paint the ceiling. So it was kind of a community, everybody effort. So that's the new wall. On the other side of this wall is our kitchen. So we've got this pocket door that kind of limits what we can hang on this wall and anchor to the wall because of the pocket door. And then this was the only full wall space where we could hang anything before. And so we have added, since the last video, this dresser. This holds any of our things like rubber bands or staplers or construction paper, printer paper I keep in there, scrap paper for the boys. Some of the extra markers are in there for now. It's not really micro organized yet. I have some trays in the top drawer, but the rest of it needs to be more organized. I just haven't been able to buy any organizing systems due to the whole shutdown, lockdown thing happening. So eventually we'll have right here a coat rack for backpacks. I've got their nature backpacks. You can see we still have our air compressor. We have not finished doing the cord around and scraping the glue. I am not strong enough to get this glue off with a razor blade, but my husband is, so it's kind of at his availability to get it off. So you can see we still have stuff along the wall that we're kind of using and working with as we do the room. But this dresser's been a great addition. On the other side of it, I've hung up a couple of clipboards that we used to have as decor on a gallery wall. They're painted with chalkboard paint. So I just have them up there with some 3M hooks, and we can pull those down to use if the boys want to write somewhere and need a hard surface, or we can use them as an actual chalkboard, which is awesome. We had to get a new printer, so he fits up on top. I've got the little selfie printer up there too. I may move him eventually, but for now I just wanted him to be able to be plugged in case I need to print something. So he's hanging out there. We did go ahead and cover the trim with a coat of lacquer. We took the whole chalkboard down to paint behind it and everything, and so we went ahead and coated with lacquer because it does keep the dust off the ground, but the chalkboard coming in contact with the trim, I don't know why I'm at a loss for words right now, but the chalkboard coming in contact with the trim was causing the trim to get really dusty, even up on top where the kids couldn't reach. So just being near, I think, to the dust, and especially down here at the bottom, which is meant to catch the chalkboard dust. Our kids love this. They love writing on the chalkboard. We did have a whiteboard before as well, and I actually had it velcroed up onto this wall because we can't hang anything too heavy over there, but they hardly ever used it. They love writing on the chalkboard, and having some kind of ledge really helps. So if you're considering one and you're not sure if it's worth it, I definitely feel like, especially with this trimmed out, and this is just a piece of MDF that we trimmed in boards and stained. So we made it all ourselves, and it's been a great addition to our classroom setup, but it also is something that's beautiful that we could leave up once the kids are grown and they don't want to use it anymore. I could certainly use it for quotes or art or anything like that. I think it looks really nice. So right now we are still using these two bins. These hold all of the boys' current work. So things like their little traveler's notebooks and their writing books, handwriting books, and things like that. So if we need a math book or something that they're currently using, it's in these bins. These are the current things that they are using. I don't know that we'll keep that forever. It's just what had worked for us before. And we had these hung on a wall in our old house, and we had them hung on the side of the bookshelf when the bookshelf was turned before. So now it doesn't really have a spot on the wall. So we're just kind of hanging with it for now and seeing how it goes. We've got, this is the pocket door. We do have a screen. It's sitting over here in the windowsill to put on it. It's like the film that allows light to still come through and you can semi-see through, but it distorts it so you're not directly looking in. Does that make sense? That's what we are putting on that door. And that'll give a little bit more privacy in here. So if we have someone staying in here, we can utilize that. We'll probably put it on the opposite side. So if my kids do want to use dry erase markers, we could do it on the windowsill. This poster, we just slapped some salvage boards onto it to make a frame. And the back side, I glued the birds and nest poster that we have. So we can flip it at any point in time when we want to see the birds and the nests. Sorry, Toby. It's all right, Bubba. And this is just hung up with a small nail. So we can always take it down and put up a map or something else if we want to, which is nice. We did go ahead and put up all of the lights around the room. And I think they look awesome now. Before we had them just up with some command hooks. And now they're up with little nails. And it's holding them nice and taut and looks awesome. So we refinished the bookshelf with the same stain that our chalkboard has. It's kind of the stain that we're using a lot around the house because our floors are lighter here. We like this darker stain. So this is still in progress too. See, Toby's camping out here. We've got kind of everything sectioned off by the type of book it is. So we are still playing with it and working with it. Right now, it's definitely macro organized, but it's not really micro organized within each bin. This is like all the paint. And then these are additional maps and things that we use for like poetry tea time and extra readings. These are all history and drawing books. And then all of our books that we use inside of our traveler's notebooks are in that bin, and extra notebooks. Then we've got like our next year history curriculum. I'm trying to keep it separate so that way I can pull out the old stuff. You can see this looks a little wonky right now. That's all of our phonics cards and little readers. We've got all of our next like workbooks in here that we need next, and then all of our nature books. And then the bottom two shelves are definitely a work in progress. These are the boys' shelves. I've been trying to put any of their books that they want in this space, like coloring and art and things like that they own personally, like it's their book, in their own shelf. So eventually maybe I'll get a basket for each so that they can just put it in there and it doesn't have to be standing up pretty. Like this drives me nuts right here. Right now we have these two Latchmate bins. The spelling bin has all of the like letter tiles and stamping letters and things like that in it to practice spelling words. It's not just for EJ, but he uses it the most. Zeke used it the other day to practice some of his spelling words. Zeke's bin is just his. It's just his math manipulatives. And we're using the Good and the Beautiful math for him. So there's a lot of like cubes and little icons for counting and adding and subtracting and things. So that's all contained in that bin, which is nice. And then they both have these two, which we call their keep bin. So if they do art or finish a book or anything in paper form, they stick it in there if they want to keep it or if I want to keep it. And then we go through it and sort through and like, what are things that you want to keep physically in person that you want mommy to save? And what are things that we can take pictures of? Are there some things that I should keep as an example of your work from this year? That kind of stuff. This is our sleeper sofa. It has been a great addition to our schoolroom. I didn't know how much we would use it. We had this in our bonus space at our old house, and I have utilized it here for when we have family staying, and it's been great to have in here. We sit on it all the time. Obviously, this is my dad's dog, and he's hanging out with us today, and he is enjoying the couch. But we sit on here and read. We sit on here and do schoolwork. I do my devotions here in the morning. A lot of times I'll come here and lay and watch the sunset because the sun sets to our backyard. So I like to watch it through the trees. So that's been awesome. This is hog fencing that we put up, and this is a great spot for our artwork. You can get this for, I think it's $25 at Tractor Supply for 16 feet. So we were able to get 2 big sheets out of it, and then the other one will split and probably use up in the boys' room. We added the little wood detail behind just for more like dramatic effect. You can get grids like this on Amazon that are much lighter. I think probably like not Home Depot, but Office Depot or any of the office supply stores would probably have it as well. And you can get little like hooks that go on them to hang things and shelves and whatnot. But we went with the cheaper route, and I think it looks really, really nice. Allows our youngest, who is an artist, to hang up some of his stuff that he's proud of. And we've just hung up other things that we find beautiful or that we are talking about right now. Like we did a green ember class thing. And so this is 2 of the chalk pastel drawings from Nana taught those. If you've not done any of those are great. And Nana does a great job of teaching you to just kind of go with your mistakes, which I think is really important for all of us. So the other new addition right here is this cart. He's not fully organized yet. I've got like our morning time tray on top right now. I'm not exactly sure if we're going to continue using that tray or if I want to divvy that out onto the shelf or what exactly I want to do with it. So he's just hanging out on top right now. I do have a lid coming, so we could use this kind of as a place to put a drink on top, and on the bottom I have my supplies for like Bible study and devotions and scripture memory and all of that. So right now I've just got this bin of blankets hanging out here, but the most important part to me too was to also make sure that we have the ability to open the doors all the way. If you don't open them flush with the wall on the French doors, they slam shut if there's any wind at all. So they slowly creep shut. So we have to open them all the way. So I wanted to make sure these spaces were clear so that way we could open them. Otherwise we could have used a little bit of that wall space. And then we've got our shoe rack tucked behind here. This offers a great spot for us to keep any shoes and boots that we are using frequently or that may be a little bit muddy, and keep it out of the way. Most of the time when we're in here, I keep this door open and we don't see it. So eventually we will have a little coat rack too for other things. And I think that'll help with backpacks and whatnot. So the other thing is we're still working with this table. This is a kid-sized table, and it's working for now, but I can't really sit out with the kids and they don't have a ton of room. So our plan is to buy a table from IKEA. I have my eye on one that I think will be perfect that will offer a little bit of storage too. So we don't want to spend too much on something in here that's going to get beat up. And we also want something that kind of folds away easily. So that's my plan for now. It'll allow us to put some of these items actually in the table drawers so that the kids can each have kind of their own little supplies. I know my oldest loves having his own like pointy crayons and doesn't like how the little brother tends to use up the art supplies. As you can see, there's things that are not finished. There's things that have been delayed because of this COVID-19 quarantine situation. And we're just kind of taking that all in stride and really just working with what we have. We do spend a lot of time in here and like to hang out in here. So that was the goal of the room, was to make it more functional and a place that we all want to hang out. And that's really, really happened. So it'll continue to evolve as we're able to get new pieces for the room that function better for us and continue to update, putting down quarter round and that kind of thing as we get the time to do. But we're loving it for now, and I hope it inspires you to create a place that you love and works well for you and your family.